Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're uncovering the fascinating, often invisible, battle to protect our ancient built heritage, stone conservation.
It's a really crucial field involving a mix of disciplines. Our goal today is to get a handle on what stone actually is, why it seems to, well, inevitably decay, and explore some of the methods and ideas behind preserving it.
Okay, let's start there then. Let's dive into the nature of stone itself and, what makes it break down over time.
Right, so stone decay isn't just like obvious crumbling. It's really any irreversible change, any loss of soundness in the natural stone used for building.
Yeah.
You'll find that the softer sedimentary types, think limestone, sandstones, and also metamorphic marbles, they tend to be the most vulnerable.
Ah, okay, because they're more porous.
Exactly. Their structure, their composition makes them more susceptible, whereas igneous granites, they're much harder, absorb less water,
Yeah.
so they generally hold up better, they're more resistant.
Okay, so we know what stone is broadly and which types are more at risk, but what actually causes the damage? What are the main culprits?
Well, the big one, number one really, is water. It's not just erosion from rain, though that plays a part. Water is the delivery system
Delivery system for what?
for salts,
Yeah.
mainly. It carries dissolved salts into the stone. Water also enables chemical reactions, causes frost damage when it freezes and expands. It's central. And then you have other factors like um, physical flaws in the stone itself, natural cracks or fissures, or using the stone incorrectly in the first place, maybe putting it under the wrong kind of stress. Even using incompatible materials next to it can cause problems.
Right, like a bad repair material or something.
Precisely. And don't forget, just general weathering, rain, wind, those daily or seasonal temperature swings, they all take a toll. But interestingly, air pollution adds another layer. Things like sulfur dioxide, especially from burning fossil fuels, can form acids.
Corrosive acids, I imagine.
Yes, exactly. They attack the stone surface,
Yeah.
leading to things like efflorescence, those white powdery deposits you sometimes see,
Yep.
and spalling, where the surface layers just flake off.
Yeah.
Even carbon dioxide in the air contributes a bit to chemical weathering over long periods.
It seems like there are so many factors chipping away at it. You mentioned salts earlier, and the source material really highlighted soluble salts. Tell us more about that. Why are they so destructive?
Yeah, they're a huge problem. These soluble salts can come from anywhere: groundwater, air pollution, de-icing salts used on roads, even sometimes from inappropriate cleaning materials used in the past.
Okay.
So water carries these salts deep into the stone's pores. Then, as the water evaporates from the surface,
It leaves the salt behind.
it leaves the salt behind, exactly. And these salts then crystallize, or they hydrate, meaning they absorb water molecules and expand inside those tiny pores. The pressure this creates is immense. It can literally push the stone apart from the inside out. It's often hidden damage until, well, a chunk falls off.
Wow. That's quite insidious.
It is. And we shouldn't forget about living things, too. Obvious things like plant roots forcing stones apart, sure. But also mosses, lichens, even bacteria.
Bacteria, how do they damage stone?
Well, some can physically dislodge tiny particles. Others actually secrete acids as part of their metabolism, which chemically attacks the stone surface. It all adds up.
Okay, so faced with this onslaught, water, salts, pollution, biology, how do we even begin to preserve these structures? What's the approach?
Well, the absolute first step, the critical one, is diagnosis. You have to figure out why the stone is decaying. Is it salt? Is it frost? Is it a structural issue?
Because the treatment would be different.
Completely different. Once you know the cause, you can try to prevent it or at least slow it down. Basic maintenance is fundamental: keeping gutters clear, making sure water drains away from the building, sealing cracks promptly. And cleaning is important too, not just for looks, but because you need a clean surface. If you're going to apply any kind of treatment, it needs to be able to soak in properly.
Right. So beyond keeping things clean and dry, what about those treatments? You mentioned things have moved on from just painting surfaces.
Oh, definitely. We learned the hard way that just sealing the surface, say with paints or old types of sealants, can often trap moisture and salts inside, making the problem worse.
Ah, okay. So you need something that goes deeper.
Exactly. The focus now is on penetrating treatments. There are inorganic options like compounds that deposit silica inside the stone, essentially helping to glue the grains back together. Lime water is a traditional one. And there are more advanced things like alkaline earth solutions that use a technique called homogeneous precipitation.
Homogeneous precipitation. What does that mean in practice?
It means encouraging new compatible minerals like calcium carbonate to actually grow within the stone's pore structure from a solution that's soaked in. It helps consolidate the stone internally, making it stronger from the inside.
Fascinating. And what about the polymers I've read about, the sort of plastic treatments?
Yes, those are very important too. Silicones, for example, are widely used. They're great at repelling liquid water, but, and this is key, they usually allow water vapor to pass through. The stone can still breathe.
So moisture isn't trapped inside.
Precisely. Then you have synthetic organic polymers designed to penetrate really deeply and consolidate weakened stone. Some of the most advanced methods use monomers, small molecules that soak deep into the stone as a liquid. Then, once they're inside, they're triggered to polymerize, meaning they link up to form long chains, essentially hardening into a plastic within the stone's structure. It's called in situ polymerization.
So you're essentially creating a sort of internal scaffolding.
That's a good way to think about it, yes.
Yeah.
And because you start with a liquid, you can potentially get very deep penetration and tailor the properties somewhat.
This sounds incredibly sophisticated, but also complex. How do we actually know if these treatments are working long term? And are there downsides?
That is the crucial question, and honestly, the biggest challenge, finding the ideal preservative is, well, it's perhaps impossible.
What would ideal even look like?
It would need to soak in really deep, strengthen the stone without forming a hard, brittle crust on the surface. It absolutely must let moisture vapor move in and out. It shouldn't change the stone's appearance or color, and it needs to last for decades, if not centuries.
That sounds like a very tall order.
It is. Hitting all those targets is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
There was a very influential report back in 1963 that basically said, look, none of the surface treatments we've used so far have really worked reliably in the long run.
Ouch. So that spurred more research.
Absolutely. It shifted focus towards deeper understanding and penetration. That's why today, any new treatment requires really rigorous testing, long-term observation on actual buildings, plus intensive lab work to understand how it performs and how long it might last. We have to be much more careful.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key message you want people to take away about stone conservation?
I think it's that preservation isn't a single action. It's a process. It's an ongoing commitment. Someone in the field once put it beautifully, saying, ceaseless upkeep is indeed the only guarantee that a preservation treatment is transformed into a permanent safeguard.
Ceaseless upkeep. That really drives home the point. It's about continuous care for our shared heritage. Hopefully this deep dive has given you all a richer appreciation for that.
Yes, hopefully next time you look at an old stone building or monument, you'll see not just the stone, but also maybe think about the quiet science working hard to keep it standing for all of us.